Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. And this is the week in review. And I'm just going to say, guys, I caught up on all the wrestling last night because I really wasn't attentive. Because I'll be honest, watching WWE in particular is becoming harder for me with everything going on in the world and how WWE is just one of many corporations, universities, etc., that are capitulating and complying and whatever with with what is very clearly a fascist government. Um, and also, given last week we kind of broke records, I realized again that yes, we are not a recap show. This show is mainly to talk about the things we found most interesting in the world of wrestling. And with that in mind, I got to say, I think NXT was the better overall show this week. I think it even had my performance of the week with Javon Evans, which we'll get to a bit later. But my favorite story beat of the week, or at least the most intriguing, was everything going on with Sami Zayn. So I'm going to open with that. So Sami, we find out, first of all, to go to Raw, he gets a match with Rusev, and he's hoping that this match with Rusev will angle him for an opportunity at the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Clash in Paris. And, he tells Sheamus, Sheamus, please, don't get involved in my match. After it's over, you can do what you want with Rusev, but I need this. Sheamus says, okay. But he says, as soon as that bell rings, that Bulgarian bastard is mine. They have their match. Solo Sikoa and his, bloodline attack Sami. It's
MFT.
kind of the MFT. What does that even stand for, by the way? I was meaning to ask.
My family tree.
Okay, wow, okay. Not everything needs to be an acronym to be pro tip. And so yeah.
It would have made sense to just call them the family tree.
Yeah, that too.
It's barely more syllables than the bloodline, let's be real.
So they attack Sami, causing like a no contest kind of deal. And then, Sheamus goes in the attack on Rusev. But see, I didn't watch last week because, as I said in the beginning, it's harder for me now to watch the product because I'm really disgusted with WWE at the moment and I really don't care.
Yeah.
But that's a me problem. And that's why I kind of forced myself to watch the products because I didn't want you to have to do a carry job. The way I could put it is, I love you more than I hate the product, and I really think that says something.
That's really beautiful. Thanks for saying that, bud.
Yeah, you're really beautiful. But so I appreciate Raw for recapping for me because I didn't give a fuck last week. Sami beat Solo on SmackDown. That's why they attacked him because I didn't have any context because I was lazy. So we go from that to SmackDown, where Solo is kind of bragging about the people they've stomped out. And I will say again, I am enjoying Solo more than I ever have. I think he's really found his voice. He's never going to have the aura of Roman Reigns. But here's the thing. He shouldn't be expected to, and he shouldn't have to. I like where he's taken leading his family tree, having a little bit of comedy, a little bit of levity to it. Then Sami comes out, and Sami interestingly says, I am now a member of the SmackDown roster. And he also reminds us, outside of a world title, he has never been United States champion. Mm-hmm. And so this whole thing, and then the main event is just him, Jacob Fatu, and the other Uso teaming against MFT. And of course, for those that don't know, yes, it is Jimmy Uso. Yes, I can say his name. And it only hurts 5% rather than the usual 95%. And Sami pins Solo again. So it seems like we have a new program for Solo. But I was so intrigued by the developments of the Sami character, I did a poll in our Discord, and there is a dead fucking tie. And the question in the Discord was, if Sami Zayn won the Rumble, which I am not taking off the table, they could really be doing a long-form story with him this year. And Drew McIntyre, who is currently pursuing Cody Rhodes, and Sami has never beaten him, is the WWE champion, and Seth Rollins, who we know that Sami has had beef with, their relationship got very interesting this year, remained the Raw World Heavyweight Champion. Who would you have Sami face at WrestleMania? It is a 50-50 tie, 3 votes apiece for Drew and Seth in our Discord. And all of these developments with Sami kind of show me that while I adore Naomi and this and that, as far as a character that is very interesting to me, as far as like, what are they going to do? I don't know what they're going to do. It is Sammy, because I didn't expect him to become a SmackDown roster member. So, beginning with that first, because we're not a recap show and we only really talk about the things that interest us, I just want to hand the ball over to you. I mean, what do you think about these developments with Sammy?
Um, you know, I'm very torn on this situation. I think I lean more into being not a fan of this, honestly, because on Raw, not only did it feel like he had more like personal stories to tell, because like Roman Reigns is now on Raw, Jey Uso is on Raw, Seth Rollins and his whole group that Sammy literally like rebelled against not that many months ago is on Raw. And like it just feels also like if Sami Zayn is to win a world title, it's more likely that it would be the one that's currently on Raw than like the title that you put on the face of the company. I don't think WWE is ever going to give that title to Sami Zayn. So if you take all of that into account, plus the fact that now he's going after another mid card title, and you've said so many times that he is above the Intercontinental title. Well, if he's above that, then he's sure as hell above the US title.
Right.
And really, I think the only story that babyface Sami Zayn has to tell on SmackDown, once he gets through this bloodline nonsense, or this MFT nonsense, I should say, is Drew McIntyre. And that is literally it. I don't think that there's anyone else on SmackDown who is currently active and healthy, because obviously KO was on SmackDown before he went to get healthy. I don't know if we're going to see him again. Hopefully, if we do, it's sooner than later, but I don't want to count on him. And other than, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn doesn't exactly have a history with John Cena. I mean, you could argue he has some history with Cody Rhodes, but it's always been as an ally. So I just don't see what Sammy does. Even if he does win the U.S. title, I don't really know where. Like, are we really going to do Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre for the United States Championship at some point? Because that seems below both of them to me.
Yeah.
Whereas on
Yeah.
Raw, it felt like Sammy was always kind of in that main event mix because, like, he has reasonable, like, he has a good reason to feud with CM Punk. Given literally last year around this time, CM Punk was saying that Sami Zayn's not on his level. He has reason to feud with Seth Rollins. They were literally feuding not that many months ago. And it kind of felt to me like he was going to lead the charge against the Vision on Raw. Like it was going to be Sammy and company, like Sammy, Jey Uso, someone else I'm sure that I'm not thinking of right now, versus Seth, Braun, and Bronson. And now it's like we get to hit the reset button, and all of the sort of success and momentum that Sammy has been building up on Raw feels like it got thrown out the door to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. That's the thing, bro. I kind of feel the same way you do. And I say kind of because, it would be intriguing to me if we went back to the Sammy Drew feud, but here's the problem: Cody Rhodes. I mean,
Yeah.
do we really believe that Cody's just going to drop the title to Drew? Because the only way I see that happening, and this is how broken WWE has made my brain when it comes to wrestling, the only way I could see that happening is if Cody was going to face somebody the caliber of like Rock at WrestleMania. But here's the thing about that: WWE has shown in the past that they will stack everything on a match like that, because no matter how many times we say it doesn't need the title,
Yeah.
how many times do they do the title anyway, bro?
They don't
I mean,
give
you
a
watch the
fuck.
same product
Yeah,
I do.
exactly.
Yeah. So like, I I really like Sammy. I've come a long way with Sammy as a fan because I've grown out of my immaturity. And really, I'm in a weird age where I think I like baby faces more again than heels, because I think the heels I really do like best. And I'm not even kidding. Like, I love Vanity Project and I love Naomi. I love Vanity Project because they're goobers, but like they're also really talented in ring. They pop me the right fucking way. I miss the fuck out of Kevin Owens. So like that took a huge hit. And Naomi is just perfection right now. But yeah, baby faces have really been kind of stepping up. I think Sammy is a huge part of that. I like his sincerity. I love his fire. He's great in ring. I love that. I know he can't be very politically outspoken, but he still, like, through his attire or whatever, supports Palestine. which I think is based as fuck. God, I want him and Jamar Hampton to interact. I think that'd be based. But yeah, like I really like Sammy. I liked where his story was going, and I don't know what this whole SmackDown thing is going to lead to. I just hope it's a whole lot of nothing because part of me wonders, does he go on SmackDown for a little bit, wins the Rumble, and then just uses that as his means of getting back on Raw and back at Seth Rollins? Or does he just not win the Rumble at all and it goes to like an LA Night or something? I don't know. But Sammy's got a lot of momentum in the mid card right now, which, as we've already established, he's above. So I don't know. And then how is Jacob Fatu going to take it? Because I like that they hugged, and I like that Sammy is, in with another Samoan in this huge ass family, right? But Jacob's still got problems with Solo. That doesn't stop. So yeah, I'm just curious how they're going to navigate all this. But that was really the thing of like big interest to me this week was Sammy, because everything else, honestly, and again, NXT was the best show and there's more interest there. But as far as like Raw and SmackDown, I really didn't care for much on either show, to be honest with you. Like, I think Raw was the better show between the two of them. But like, I don't know if this is going to make any sense to you, because again, I did watch these last night so that I knew what I was talking about. I felt like there wasn't a lot of forward momentum on either show.
Yeah, no, I definitely, not only do I see where you're coming from, I totally agree. I think the best way in my mind that I can describe my feelings towards Raw and SmackDown this week were that Raw was a fairly uneventful, decent show, and SmackDown was a total bore fest.
I mean, let me ask you, let's put the ball more in your court because, I love that tone and I love how you discourse.
Before you say this, I want to add one more thing. Both shows felt
Yes.
like filler this week, which makes no fucking sense because Clash in Paris is literally 2 weekends away and they're doing filler.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna be honest. Again, you know why I watch the shows. It was really more about this show and being like, it's selfish to put it all on you. With the only thing I'd be able to talk about would be Evolve. So I'm like, nut up and fucking watch these shows. But I swear, one of these days we're probably gonna have a talk about our future with WWE coverage because they're really starting to make me fucking sick. But with you as an EO fan, I have to know, what are you thinking about this potential feud with her and Asuka? I want to get in your brain
very
about this.
excited about that. Very excited. I'm stoked about it. I also I gotta say, man, I think this was our first week because this was like the big week where we like found out that Naomi wasn't cleared to compete on Monday, and we still haven't gotten any confirmation as to why. But the internet is run rampant with pregnancy rumors, right?
Oh shit.
Oh, you didn't know about that?
No.
Oh boy,
And
I am so sorry that I had to be the one to drop that on you.
just because it's our podcast and you know that like I don't mean it in an asshole way, I hope that's not true. Like and this isn't like a bit or whatever with my whole Jimmy Uso thing. Like she is on such a hot fucking run right now. Don't let a child ruin it. Don't do this. Fuck. I hope it's not true. Because look, if they want this family, we always say the person comes first, and I have to abide by that. But I'm going to be honest, this is the hardest time I've had doing that in a while because I don't know if Naomi's ever going to get lightning in a bottle like this again. And the idea that like that could be the reason why it could all go to shit, I'm like, yeah, that's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow, but we'll have to see. But yeah, she didn't get medically cleared. Io had a match with Roxanne. I was also thinking while watching this, because while watching this, I'm like, okay, I know we're not going to talk about everything because, again, we're not a recap show. So what do I want to talk about? And I will say, as a note on this, I think it's going to be really exciting when Roxanne goes babyface again. I really think if she would get her promos down and she would find her voice more, she really could have like that Daniel Bryan kind of potential for the women where people just love seeing her wrestle and they love seeing her be a scrappy underdog. She's a fine heel. She's serviceable in that role. But I don't know. I hope one day she's able to really capture magic as a babyface because watching her, I'm like, man, you could wrestle circles around so many people and I would love it. Io continues to be the best wrestler in the fucking world. I mean, that there's just no denying that to me. Everything she's doing is on point right now. Crowd fucking loves her. And I will say, for as much flack as I give WWE, all deservedly these days, I think it is so smart to potentially pivot Io away from the title picture, even if it's going to take a bit longer, because we don't want Io to become like super Io. Like I like that she could do something outside of the title picture, because then the people that are really riding with her will be clamoring for her to get back to the title picture. There should be a chase. There should be a struggle. And Asuka could be a legitimate obstacle here, not to mention Kairi, to me, becomes far more interesting with this, because you could tell when Io and Asuka were arguing backstage, Kairi was clearly torn about what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
But she ultimately did go with Asuka,
Yeah.
which doesn't surprise me because Kabuki, I mean, Sky Pirates have never won tag gold. It's always been
Sky
Kabuki
Pirates
Warriors.
have never really done much of anything on the main roster, period.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
feel like they've only I feel like you can count the number of Sky Pirates tag matches where it was just Io and Kairi as a tag team, not Damage Control, not a whole group, not a 6-woman tag, just 2 women as a tag team. You could probably count those matches that they've had on the main roster on one hand.
Yes. Yes, that's absolutely correct. And so, yeah, I don't know, because here's the thing. Asuka very clearly, to me, has been giving low key for right now, but heel vibes. Because, like, you even said in the Discord, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, like, why did Asuka always give off that she's like a Japanese supremacist or something? When, like, Io is like, oh, I need to talk to Rhea or whatever. And then Asuka's like, fine, we'll just go over here and we'll do our own thing or whatever. And, she definitely gave those vibes this week because she was really the spokeswoman. Kyrie is just cool for whatever, but she's like, oh, we'll come out there with you. And Io's like, I've beaten Roxanne before. I can do this on my own. And, Asuka just kind of gave a look, but she's like, okay. And then Raquel gets overly involved in this match. And then, yeah, that's when they try and interfere. And obviously it backfires. So it's interesting because you can't really fault Asuka and Kairi in the sense that they just wanted to even the odds. But I think if they really wanted to help, they would have neutralized Raquel. They wouldn't have tried to restrain Roxanne.
I do want to correct myself. It was 2 hands. They've had 10 matches together as a tag team on the main roster.
Well, there you go. There you go. And yet 0 championships to show for it.
I don't know if they've ever even had a shot at the tag titles.
It's amazing to me that Io's actually
Crown Jewel 20. Oh, wait, no. Actually, there have been other opportunities now. So there was a Raw in October where they challenged Bianca and Jade. And then at Crown Jewel this past year, like in November, they were part of a 4-way tag title match. So they've had 3 direct opportunities. I just saw another one. 3 direct opportunities at the women's tag titles. There was one in Raw a year ago, August 19th, 2024. Unholy Union were the champions, and they got a shot in the triple threat, also involving Shayna and Zoe as the Pure Fusion Collective. But yeah, 3 times that Io and Kairi as Sky Pirates have ever gotten tag title shots.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Io Asuka could cook. I think Kairi, she becomes more of an interesting character because she'll emotionally agonize because Io is very dear to her, but she has so much like in ring history with Asuka. So I'm very curious how that's gonna go. And then there was only one other thing to me really interesting about Raw. And that was the whole. Actually, wait, before I even go into that, is there anything else you want to say about Io Asuka?
I love heel Asuka personally. I think she's great.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we've ever had a 1v1 match between Io and Asuka before in WWE.
I don't think we have. And that's what makes it so special because, yeah, I really feel like they could really be gangbusters. I do also wonder if those Naomi rumors are true. What happens with Stephanie and her match at Clash in Paris? Do they just like vacate the title and then have somebody like have another contender and then Stephanie and that contender go for the vacant title at Clash? I don't know.
I just want to say there's been one instance where Io versus Asuka happened in WWE. It was 2 years ago. Io was champ defending against Asuka on an episode of SmackDown. It went almost 20 fucking minutes though.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
they could easily.
I definitely
Yeah.
want Io versus Asuka to happen several times. And yeah, regarding the Naomi stuff, I even wanted to ask you the same question that you were just talking about to bring it back full circle. Do we think that they have some like they are obviously going to have to announce something, um, even if they wanted to take it up to the last minute and just like have Naomi be like attacked by someone backstage or something? we would still have to have a women's title match. Stephanie Vaquer is owed a women's title match at Clash. I'm hoping that Naomi isn't pregnant and isn't severely injured and she's able to just get back and be able to wrestle by Clash in Paris. But I feel like the odds of that are pretty low. If that does happen, though, that's a huge win. We can have two or maybe even three women's feuds going on at the same time on Raw because we would have Io Asuka with Kyrie, kind of being the kid, trying to decide custody, and then you would have Stephanie and Naomi feuding for the title. And what is Rhea up to right now? Do you even know? Because I don't.
Dude, I think she's just clamoring for that EO rematch. Like, because she was talking to EO backstage, and she was, I don't know what EO was, I don't know what Rhea was doing with EO, but she was even saying, I know Asuka and Kyrie are friends, but can you trust them? That was weird for Rhea to come at EO at that angle. And so, yeah, I think Rhea's just jonesing to play head games with EO and get her back in the ring.
Yeah.
Title or no title, but I think obviously she'd prefer it to be for the title. Yeah, I will say I think the Raw's women's division has a lot of narrative intrigue right now. There's a lot going on. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Raw's women's division specifically, and that I really have to emphasize that because I think without Seth Rollins specifically, there really isn't that much going on Raw's men's on the men's side of Monday Night Raw for me at all.
yeah.
But Seth by himself makes things more interesting. Plus the people that kind of revolve around Seth, like Braun and Roman and Punk. Seth makes all of this shit more interesting for me. Seth really is carrying the men's side of Raw for me. But for the women, it's funny how NXT loves to refer to themselves as having the deepest women's division in the world. I think Raw might. I mean, you've got Rhea, you've got Io, you've got Asuka, Kairi, Naomi. That is an insane division, honestly. Like I mean, Stephanie's one of the best workers in the fucking world, and I forgot about her. That's how deep the division is.
We can kind of use this as a segue for the last thing that I found really interesting on Raw because the World Heavyweight title situation, I love Seth, but it's going to be a fatal four-way. Him, Jey Uso again. Jey, I love you, but I honestly don't know why he's getting another title shot personally. I guess maybe because they beat Seth, Bronson and Braun at SummerSlam, did Jey and Roman. And maybe that was kind of their segue, like, oh yeah, he can get another title shot because of this. So yeah, it's going to be Jey, Punk, and LA Knight against Seth in a fatal four-way for the title. Cool. I'm just expecting Seth to retain. The last interesting thing to me was the Bayley pre-tape promo on Raw.
That was really well done.
Yes. In fact, I want you to talk about this first because I know I broached it, but you just said it was really well done. What do you think this means for the Bayley character? And did you see the Lyra kind of interview backstage afterwards?
Yeah, I was immediately following. Lyra was like, that's not my fault. I stand on what I said. Bayley's on her own.
She did seem a bit guilty about it in her tone. Like, your delivery was perfect,
what,
of course.
I didn't pick up guilt. I didn't pick it up as oh, I feel bad. I picked it up more as oh God, this isn't gonna fall back on me, is it?
Yeah.
Like watching her own ass almost.
I mean, look, this is why Tatum X Lyra forever, first of all. Second of all, yeah, I mean, this was a very vulnerable Bayley. This is a very introspective Bayley.
Yeah.
And I like this. Now, I wish more.
Yeah, I thought this was really well done. I actually love the way that they're going with her character. This feels like the kind of direction that you take a character when you want that character to become a top fucking star, because it's the vulnerability. I think that a really important aspect of making for a great top babyface is allowing them to be vulnerable with the audience. And Bayley has always been kind of I don't want to say vulnerable. I think Bayley has always been kind of transparent and wears her emotions on her sleeves, but I don't think we've ever seen her this level of vulnerable before.
No, and where it gets interesting to me, one is because, again, we've never seen her this vulnerable, but also, and I have to credit Mark Schoeneman for this, and I wish he was here because I don't want to misrepresent his viewpoint. And so I just want to say that these are heavily qualified remarks because I don't fully remember how Mark framed this. But he thought that they were going to go the direction of Bayley potentially all of her personas in the past, like her having multiple personalities, because even at the end of the vignette, you hear the Bayley cackle. And I thought that was so interesting, given that this is a very heartfelt, like vulnerable piece to end on what was very clearly a heel motif of a past persona of
Yeah.
Bailey's. And it's like, okay, what are we doing here? And here's the thing. Here's what concerns me. If Mark is right, and as much as I hate to admit it, people that do math usually are, which is why there's such a fucking problem. He's right, and they're doing the multiple personality thing. That could be really like you have to be so careful how you write and present that. And let's
Yeah.
keep it 100. WWE doesn't have the best track record with stories like that at all. I am really worried that as talented as Bailey is, this could go cringe very quick.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to. I would rather it be rather than multiple personalities, Bailey is questioning, well, I was doing things this way and I wasn't getting wins. So is it better that I go this way? And maybe she even reverts briefly to like her heel persona and tactics, but that doesn't help her win either. So she like kind of abandons it. It's not like a new commitment. It's more real existential crisis to me. Um, and yeah, she finds that doesn't help her win either. And then I don't know. I don't know the resolution, but I do think there's a very interesting story here, which again attests to the depth of the Raw women's division, because now even Bailey is seeming interesting. And again, I don't think Lyra's done with this story either, because I could see where you're coming from, but Lyra did seem a bit concerned, like, wow, I didn't think Bailey like mentally would go this far down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's trying to distance herself from it. She's like, and again, you are right about that. She's like, look, I was serious, we're done. I was what I said was true. Because of her, I can't challenge for the women's intercontinental title anymore. And yeah, I don't think she's done with this story. But yeah, Bailey, and really, I'm happy for Mark and all of Bailey's fans. Whether you're a super fan or otherwise, because it is time that she got something meatier to do. And I've been loving her matches with Lyra, and I think she's earned a story like this. So color me intrigued. But WWE, you fumble this bag, it's going to be on you. So yeah, that was really all I found interesting on Raw this week. I really didn't care about anything else that happened. I kind of want to just talk about SmackDown next, because NXT I think was the best show, so I want to kind of save that for last. And with
Okay.
SmackDown, we already talked about Sammy, so there's no need to talk about any of that. And again, just talking about things that we care about. Um, I guess I kind of care about Mello, don't Miz, but it's
That
weird that
makes
they're
one
doing
of
that.
us.
Yeah, I mean, I like both guys, but it just feels
I
like
mean,
this is just
look,
something random for them to
I
do.
I am not like a Miz hater the way that I was a decade ago. I'm cool with him now, but it doesn't mean I like him. I don't look forward to anything he does. And
Yeah.
like I'm not really even there with Mello either. Like I do like Mello, but not to like a significant like I don't love Mello. I like him, but I don't love him. I think he's really good, but like I'm not super duper invested in his success, I guess is a way to put it. And like the match that they had this week was against Fraxium, which like I skipped that shit, skipped to the end of it. It was cool to see Mello Don't Miz actually win over Fraxium. That does give me the slightest modicum of hope that Fraxium won't just immediately get pushed to the fucking moon now that they're on SmackDown. But I definitely did not watch that match. No, no, thank you.
I am going to level with you, bro. And this is just where I'm coming at it. And by the way, speaking of skipping things, the only thing I skipped on NXT since I've been hyping that show was the Jordan Gray sit down interview, because I am so sorry. I cannot stand hearing her talk. I know that probably makes her
Holy
sound
shit.
like
Dude,
a piece of
here's the
shit.
thing.
But
It's like more of the same with her, though. She's not like indignant towards Blake. She's like, I mean, she's right, though. She literally dignified it with a fucking, like, she was like, yeah, totally, she's right. I didn't used to look like a star. What the fuck are you doing, NXT? Jesus Christ, I hate this writing.
I'm amazed. You know what? No, we'll talk about that later when it's appropriate. But as far as that, the only thing really interesting sticking out for me from this recap of SmackDown, and I would agree with this assessment, was Drew McIntyre's promo. Because I'm going to be honest, I thought Drew ate here. I really enjoyed his
Dude,
promo this
it's
week.
so funny because literally earlier on in the day yesterday, like maybe like 4 p.m. ish, I was talking to my mom about who I would put in the S tier of promos in wrestling. And I even posted about this in the Discord. And for WWE, I said Cena, Punk, Rhodes, um, Seth, or not Rhodes. Fuck Cody Rhodes. He's nowhere close. I said Cena, Punk, Seth, Becky Lynch, Jada Parker, and there was someone else that, of course, I'm fucking forgetting someone. Um, Where is it? There it is. Oh, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Those two guys, I think, are both S tier promos. And then for AEW, it was just Cope and Moxley. And then I had like on the cusp, I had Naomi, Chelsea Green, Chad Gable for WWE, and then for AEW, I had Christian Cage, Bryan Danielson, and Eddie Kingston. I think Danielson's capable of S tier promos, but I think his average is more of a strong A. But no, those were my S tier talkers, and then fucking Drew goes on SmackDown and he's like, "Oh, you don't think I'm an S tier promo, do you?" And he's like, "Fuck you." And I'm like, "Shit, now I have to reconsider Drew. He was incredible last night. He was so good."
Isn't it so, I'm gonna be weird me for 2 seconds.
Please
Isn't it
do.
so fucking hot when dominant, superior people like Drusev over here just tell you to fuck off with their talent and they're right? I think it is. Uh,
Yes.
because, because I'll tell you, no, in all seriousness, this promo was fucking great.
It was
And see,
fantastic. I love too that like it continues the character beat of Drew McIntyre always being just right enough to make you believe him, but he always sprinkles in a little bit of like unreliable narrator type shit. You know what I mean? Because it's
yeah,
like, yeah, Cody definitely did like quote unquote start it, like he said, but like you took it too far, Drew. I'm not complaining. I'm stoked about it. I'm glad that we don't have to see Cody's face for now. But like from a storyline kayfabe perspective, Drew escalated to a significant degree.
listen. You're beautiful and I love you and you're not wrong. But let me explain something to everyone here. Okay? We got horny me 5 seconds ago. Now we're gonna get right unhinged me, which is my personal favorite. I don't know how many fucking heels have to psychoanalyze Cody Rhodes accurately before somebody fucking does something because he needs to be stopped. Okay? He needs to be stopped because Drew, much like Kevin Owens before him, called out Cody this time for being a fucking sycophant for everybody's approval. Please love me. Please be the surrogate for my daddy and love me. Fuck you. Fuck you. And what pisses me off about how great that promo was, bro, and this is what pisses me off every time a top guy goes up against somebody that I really like and who has a lot of momentum and is doing great stuff, it never fucking matters because the top guy wins. And I will admit, I love Cena now, but back then when I was starting to get sick of him in his big Super Cena run, there were plenty of guys that I felt like, oh man, is this going to be their time? And then Cena beat them, and I'm like, oh, god damn it. And I feel like Drew is getting hot again as a heel, which he hasn't been hot as a heel in a long fucking time. But I like the Claymore through the announce table, and I like this promo. I'm like, oh man, you win, you keep that title, Sammy becomes contender. We have a Mania match that I am locked the fuck in for. But no, it's Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes just has to be the most important thing. And I hate everything. And this promo was great. This, and I gotta say, since we already talked about Raw, this and Braun Breaker saying, "You're 47. What are you gonna do?" And "You're 40. I'll kick your ass. You're 100 years old combined," which the math was completely wrong. And I should never have to correct somebody else about their fucking math. Okay, I hate doing that shit, but it was hilarious. Braun and Drew were the most hilarious heels this week and the most entertaining ones to me, because especially because Naomi wasn't on the show. Um, Drew fucking ate. He should win the title just from this promo alone. He won't, and that's because there's no justice in this world. But yeah, it was fucking fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I would say that I'm looking forward to Cody's retort, but I don't like lying to you guys. So yeah, let's just have Drew talk the entire way for the feud, and maybe it'll actually be good. So
Low key, they might because I think that even they know that people are tiring of Cody's promos.
oh, what are you doing to me, guy? All right. That was SmackDown.
That
Um,
reminds me of that fucking Adventure Time clip. You don't know what you're doing to me, guy.
oh, I related to that hard. All right.
I believe you hard.
Bro, let's talk about NXT because I got to give credit, and I didn't think I would give this much credit to this. I really enjoyed Lash Legend versus Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Like, more than I thought I
Well,
would, bro.
I think that the really important thing about that match was literally just that, like, Lash might be the only woman, maybe Bianca, but even Lash might be the only woman on the entire roster that makes moving Nia Jax around look doable. Like when Bianca does it, it always comes off like this crazy feat of strength. And like when Lash does it, it's like another day at the office for her. Like Bianca does it and struggles, and you can tell she's like having a hard time, but she still does it. And it's amazing that someone her size can do it. Lash comes in and she's just like, "Oh yeah, yeah, it looks like you're struggling with that. Here, let me handle it." Boom, and she just does it. It's like so much easier looking when Lash does it than when we see Bianca do it. And I only bring Bianca up because I think she's the only other woman on the roster that's ever lifted Nia like that.
Yeah, bro. This mini push of Lash just further affirms to me that this woman's going to be a fucking star.
Yeah. I
I,
mean,
I'm,
I've already brought up, I think Sol Ruka's a future WrestleMania main eventer. Fuck, man. Lash Legend is up there too.
dude. Let me tell you, man. I'm watching this because again, I watched every show last night, which is always a unique experience when I do that because that's so much content at once, and
Yeah.
you can kind of see the subtle, discernible differences between the products.
Yeah.
And I'm never gonna give Nia Jax her flowers as a worker. I do think this run on the whole has been better than her prior run, but she's still Nia Jax. But I will say it was cool to see her do a guillotine in this because she knows that she's in there with somebody that's a legit fucking power wrestler. My one nitpick, which I rescinded as the match progressed, I didn't like that Nia was the one to initiate clearing the table when the fans were being fucking marks and being like, "We want tables, we want to see something break," and she's clearing it off. But then it paid off when Lash was the one to put Nia through it with a fucking fall away slam of all things, which I've never fucking seen.
Yeah.
And I like that they both beat the count because you could have so easily done a double count out. I would have believed it. I would have been fine with it. I wouldn't have too many sour grapes about it. But no, they both beat the count. And to be honest, I even like the finish. I like the finish of that. Lash was really looking like she was going to powerbomb Nia, but the match, I guess, had been going on so long, and Nia was able to hold on long enough that she was able to collapse in the what does she call the
The
finish?
Annihilator?
Annihilator. Yes,
Dude,
thank you.
I was terrified for Lash there. That looked so bad. The way that Nia landed on her on that first one and then following up with a second one on top of it, like, I was genuinely worried for Lash there because I don't care how strong you are, ribs break all the same.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. I do agree with you about your concern on the first one, but then the second one looked fine, so I'm like, okay. And yeah, I mean, Nia going over, I understand it because she is a former women's champion and she was a semi-dominant one at that, and they always want to keep up the illusion of, well, Nia's more experienced, this and that. And to me, Lash got so much impressive power offense
Yeah.
that I don't even know if this program's over. Like I could see them running it back.
Yeah.
And more importantly, I'm just gonna say this. I hope JC Jane lasts long enough with all this barrage of challengers and everything. That Lash can wait for her. I'm really starting to root for Lash to be the one to beat JC, honestly, after this performance.
I feel
Um,
like there are so many women who would deserve to be the successor to JC as the NXT Women's Champion that I guess in my mind, as much as I would love it for Lash to be that person, if it's going to take Lash several months to get there, I would rather just somebody else who's similarly deserving win it sooner because I really just want this title reign to end.
yeah, and I also want Fatal Influence to end. I think they're really dragging their feet on that group imploding.
Yeah.
Which, while we're just touching on that very quickly, JC and Fallon had a tag match against Kalani and Lola, and Kalani actually pinned JC after JC ate a back fist from Lola. So it was kind of a team effort. And, once again, amplifying the threat. We also know that JC, she's going to have a three-way match. I don't know if this was at Emergence or if this is at a future show, but she's going to have a three-way against Masha Slamovich and Ash by Elegance, formerly
That's
Dana
Dana
Brooke.
Brooke. Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, JC being a double champion, not the universe I would have picked, but again, I don't even really say that necessarily as a diss. I just don't think personally, while she's good enough, like she's solid, I've said from the beginning, I don't think she has the talent to really carry this, but that's just
I
me, and
think
I'm an armchair guy, so
I think I kind of look
you
at
know.
JC Jane in a similar vein to how I look at the Miz, where like
Yeah,
she's a good character and she is a compelling champion, but she's just not on a level where you want her to be the face of your division, and that's what she is right now. Um, I think she would be a fantastic mid card champion, but having her be the world champion is just dragging down the quality of all of the potential NXT women's championship matches that we could be getting. Like, I would way rather see, like, Sol Ruka versus Lash Legend, or Jordan Grace versus Blake Monroe, or Jada Parker versus I don't know, who haven't I named yet? Christ, Thea Hale, Christ, fuck.
Yeah.
Then JC Jane versus anyone I just named. Like
Yeah.
JC's a solid worker, but she's like a 7.5 out of 10 worker, and I think everyone I just named is above that.
Hey, agree. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on the JC stuff. Also, fucking Lainey Reed. Can we just put her and JC together already, or whatever the
Can we
hell they're
just
gonna do with it?
demote Lainey Reed to fucking evolve or something? Like I don't understand why she's here in the first place. How the fuck are you gonna have talents like Gintala and prior to this week, Tyra May Steele on Evolve and Lainey fucking Reed on NXT challenging for championships? It is absurd.
1000% correct, as per usual for your face. But while we're tentatively speaking of Evolve, we got to see our girl Kendall Gray. It was a solid match
Yes.
against Alba Fire on NXT. I enjoyed this,
I'm not
man.
even the biggest Alba Fire fan, but yeah, this match was stellar.
Yeah, and look, I think it makes sense that Alba won. Honestly, I think it would have been bad for Chelsea's group if she lost. So I understood why she won. I had no sour grapes about it. For me,
Damn,
it
bro,
was
you
Kendall
can't
showing up.
even beat one of these Evolve girls? Shit.
Yeah, and dude, here's the thing. I know not a lot of all people have gotten to be on NXT, and I think Sean Legacy got over with people. I like that Kendall was getting over with this crowd because I don't know. We'll never know because Jordan Grace kind of interrupted the match, but Callie Armstrong, I don't know if she would have gotten as over as Kendall.
Does
That's kind
Jordan
of something like
Grace
them.
hate Evolve?
She well for her she was just really, she was seeing red and just thinking about Blake. And remember, that's when she destroyed Callie and fucking Carmen Petrovich. So,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know,
That
yeah.
happened then, and she attacked here too, right?
No,
Oh.
she didn't. Because remember, Jordan had that sit down this week, and you even said like she
Oh
dignified
God. Yeah, no, my
Blake's.
brain got fried there for a second. But
No,
yeah.
no, bro, I understand because they don't know what the fuck they're doing with Jordan Grace, and I'm trying to memory hole it too, really, really, really hard.
I appreciate you
So
covering for me, but this was really just a brain fart.
Uh, either way, that was the segue to Tyra May Steele coming in because Tavion was like, well,
Yes.
I respect Kendall and everything, which I'm glad Tavion put her over. Respect you, Tavion. Love you. Loving everything that's happening for you right now.
Yes.
And yeah, then Tyra comes in. And again, when I'm hard on NXT or whatever, and I'm hard on them because how do you fuck up Jordan Grace? She should just be a killer. I think they did Tyra May Steele perfectly here.
Yep.
Um, she gives the German, I believe, to Alba, then one to Piper, which was visually impressive, and then one to Ethan, which, hey, kudos to Ethan for not being sexist and being like, I'm not taking a spot from a woman. Like, he understands what the
You
fucking
mean
business is really.
so? Way to go, Ethan Page. You're not sexist like fucking. I almost said Sean Ricker because that's his real name. Like L.A. Knight.
Yeah. LA Knight, and I know other people have been like, how could I let a woman do that to me? That's not believable. Like, I think Ethan probably
Bro,
has a
that's a
similar mindset.
prominent thing in New Japan too. None of the new, I mean, half. I shouldn't say none, but a vast majority of the New Japan guys absolutely were not willing to sell or bump for anything that the Stardom women were doing on the historic X or historic crossover shows that they did. I think Tanahashi might have been the only dude to actually bump for a woman, and it was for fucking Micah, if I remember correctly.
Well, at least Tanahashi did it, if nothing
Tanahashi's
else.
so cool,
Respect to
man.
you, Tanahashi.
I love Tana, our fucking president, baby.
You know what? I think I'm ready to make peace with Tanahashi. I mean, look, does him air guitaring make him a massive fucking dork? Yes, but I'm willing. I'm
Dorks
willing
can
to
be
overlook
lovable.
that.
I think you and I are both proof of that.
I mean, look, that is true. I would like to think that I'm more handsome and correct on average than Tanahashi is, but that's not important right now. That's not important. What's important is Tanahashi at least is progressive enough to be like, it's fucking Micah. 1/3 and the most important third of a fucking Trika. Of course I'm going to bump. So thank you, Tanahashi. But anyway, yeah, I thought Tyra looked fantastic here. And yeah, I don't know because we also know that Ren pulled a Stan in that tweet that she did to Tavion. She
I
quoted that Eminem
know.
song.
I
Yeah.
just have to say, I fucking love Ren. Ren
Yes.
Sinclair is very quickly becoming one of my favorite acts on all of wrestling television.
Dude, yes, Mother Hen Ren is everything.
I think
I
honestly, I've always liked her, but I honestly think that the segment with Joe Hendry ramped it up a lot because her randomly out of nowhere bringing up believing in Joe Hendry, and then he pops out of the fucking fridge, and she takes her jacket off to reveal that she's wearing the exact same type of clothing as Hendry. That popped the shit out of me.
maybe this is a bit of a reach, and like I don't mean this as an exact parallel. You know, I deal in ambiguity more often than not. I really feel like Ren has that same affability and low key, maybe even that same magnetism, especially if she develops more, that Bailey had as the hugger gimmick in her NXT tenure. Like, there's a real like.
Interesting.
I really feel like there's a major likability to Ren Sinclair. I really
You know
do.
what
Like, I
though? It might be the reason I think that I am like sort of internally rejecting the comparison is because I think that Ren's style and humor appeal more to adults, whereas Bailey was always very, very like leaned into being for the kids.
think you're correct. So that's why I said even I don't fully buy in as like a 1-to-1, but I feel like there is a phenomenon waiting to happen with Ren.
Yeah. Well, that I
Um,
definitely agree with for sure.
yeah, and like I hope I'm
But I
right on that because yeah, you can't help but root for her. You
yeah,
really,
I
and this
think
is
I
what I mean.
see the potential like moment happening for Ren as more of like an internet creation though than like an organic like audience reaction. I think that she's like very quickly going to just become a meme because she's so expressive. It's kind of funny actually because like I feel like expressiveness is a trait that the WWE values a lot and especially in women. I don't know if Alexa Bliss gets pushed the way that she does if she wasn't as like rubber face expressive as she is. And Ren checks that box hard.
Yeah, yeah, she does. She
Ren is
really.
extremely expressive. She's got that like rubber face quality, just like Bliss. So, I mean, that alone might end up getting her pushed by the right people if if the time comes, if the stars align.
Yeah, dude, I really hope they do for her. I really, really fucking hope they do for her because I think it could be a boon for NXT, and especially because I do think her in ring has been coming along nicely, and so yeah, it's just something I've been thinking about. But
Foster in
yeah,
chat just said that Ren reminds him of NXT era Daniel Bryan.
interesting, interesting. I'd have
I
to give
see
more
it
of a
for
think on that.
sure because it's like the humor is definitely similar, with it being more like understated, and it's not like she's gonna like it's not like Ariana Grace. Like she's not like very like extra and over the top like Ariana and like Chelsea. Her sort of humor is more understated, which is also like a Daniel Bryan thing. His shit was always more like nuanced and like easier to miss, kind of like Ren's. And
Yeah,
there's just like you even mentioned, the affability factor is definitely there, and I think Brian had that, especially back then too. So yeah, I can
yes,
definitely see it, Foster. I love that comparison actually.
yeah,
Unfortunately, she can't work the way that Daniel could in the ring. Like she's solid in the ring, but nowhere near as like literal, like transcendent, next level, incredible like he always has been. But I don't also know really how that much that even matters, to be honest with you.
yeah. I'm I'm really excited about her. I'm glad we had this discussion.
Me too.
Um,
I love Ren.
as
Man, Ren's awesome. It's fun to talk about her.
Definitely, and I hope we have more of a reason to talk about her in the future.
Yes.
Again, since we're not a recap show, there are certain things I'm going to skip. I'm just going to say that Josh Briggs is fucking awful, but I'm definitely becoming more of an Inamura fan.
Same.
Um,
Same. I mean, look, here's my thing. If Briggs as a heel, if it's 99% or maybe even just like 80% his job to get the babyface over, it's working. Because I like
yeah,
Inamura now than I did however many months ago that they were friends. And so like yeah,
yes.
if the goal here is for Inamura to get over, it's working. If they think that they're trying to get Briggs over at the same time, hard fail.
Now let's talk about and agreed. But now let's talk about what in my mind was the most fun match this week of what I watched far and away. this 8-man tag, Dark State versus Oba, our God King,
Yes.
Moose, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans, your boy Bouncy. And Javon, let me just say this at the start. Holy fuck. Javon is very quickly to me. And it's so funny because you'd think in this era where everybody thinks being a good worker is, I can do a corkscrew 730 body press, whatever the fuck, that Javon, I would be desensitized and Javon wouldn't be able to pop me. Javon is very quickly just watching what he can do in that ring becoming can't miss TV. Some would say he's already there, and I'd honestly be inclined to agree. I'm just saying, after this performance, I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Javon is in a special place right now. I think in the ring, he is in a place right now where he kind of can't be touched. He's really special.
We just got done talking about because Foster and that handsome fucking face made the comparison between Ren and NXT Daniel Bryan. The offense that Javon had here, where he was cleaning house on Dark State, reminded me when Daniel Bryan took out the Shield by himself, and I'm like,
I think that's probably intentional, though.
Yeah, dude, they want to show that he's got that babyface fire. Like, if it is not Javon versus Oba at Heatwave, then they must be really playing in the long game and wanting to save Javon for the biggest PLE. But like, why though? Like, just fucking do the program now. Because he's facing Trick next week. The winner goes to that, and I think him and Oba can have a match of the year contender. And I'm just gonna be honest with the male wrestlers in the world. Need to get on my board more because women are kicking your ass. And I feel like Oba and Javon could do that. Oba and Javon could so easily be a match of the year contender because both guys are hot at the right fucking time. But to talk more about this actual match, I mean, great to see fucking Dark State. Sugars is incredible. I like Osiris, actually.
Yeah, he's a really good big man.
Dude, he is. I don't think we've been giving him enough credit because, I mean, how could you when Sugars exists and he's so good both as a talker and in the ring. Dion Lennox, I am so happy for this dude because I love his look, and I won't say he's necessarily exceptional in the ring, but he does pop me in the ring. I think what he does is really solid, and it looks fucking good.
Dion Lennox almost has that Randy Orton factor where, like, his matches are never going to be consistently fantastic from beginning to end. And I shouldn't say never because Orton's kind of gotten to that point now, but Lennox's matches are not amazing from beginning to end, but they give you those big moments that pop you, like Orton's always done with like the fucking over the backbreaker and the rope hung DDT and the actual RKO itself, which is designed to be like a big pop finisher. I think Lennox could kind of follow in those footsteps, and I think Lennox now is better on the mic than Orton was when he was Lennox's age.
I would agree with you. Yeah, I felt like Dark State really looked good here, which that's great for them because their promo earlier in the night, they were more or less saying like this is the moment they've been waiting for. Like the way they talked about this match, it was a must win for them. They thought as a group we cannot lose this
match for sure. You don't set up a match like this if it's not with the intention of either making or burying this brand new fantastic like superstar faction. Like if they don't win this match, in my eyes, they're buried. Even though they're going against four of the hottest acts in the world right now, that's not really true, but you get the idea. They could not lose this match. They couldn't afford it because they've been off TV for so long now too, and reduced to really only being able to cut a promo on a rare occasion. If they would have lost here, I would have my hopes for any of these guys, or really for this faction, finding any level of real success in this company would have been dashed hard.
I gotta be honest, and this is partially me being me, but I'm also being incredibly sincere. This was my favorite heel work that Trick Williams has done in this match, because let's talk about my two favorite beats in this involving Trick Williams. For one thing, when the rest of the group decided to launch Trick onto Dark State, the face he made when he knew he was chosen and going to be launched, priceless.
Then I was surprised that they went with him and not Javon.
I was too, but I'm so glad for the comedy that they went with Trick. And then when he nailed it, he got so pumped up and he thought he was part of the team. And he was like, yeah, guys, yeah. And then towards the end, when it's really time to be a part of the team, and he's just standing on the apron thinking, oh man, they're really beating the shit out of Javon. They're getting ready to powerbomb him. What should I do? I mean, we did promise to be in this together, but I do have a match with him next week for #1 contendership. I think I'll leave. And he abandons him. I'm going to be honest with you. That abandonment popped me hard. Now, is that because I definitely have issues? Yes. Is it because the timing was perfect? Also, yes. Because, man, he just told Javon in no uncertain terms, go fuck yourself. And then he ate that power bomb and he got pinned. Now, that was the one thing I wasn't crazy about was Javon eating the pin. But I think that's the conundrum you hit because that was such an all-star fucking team. Who eats the pin in that? Now, me personally, I would have had Moose
Moose,
because
of
he's the
course,
TNA
we're
guy.
gonna agree on Moose, but like, you got to imagine that there's some kind of agreement going on with TNA where they can't just bury all their people.
Exactly. Plus, not to mention, he was having that title shot against Trick for the TNA World title at
Right.
Emergence.
So neither
And
one
they're
of
probably
them
thinking,
can
well,
lose. You're not
yeah,
going to have Oba lose, so it had to be Javon by process of elimination. Yeah.
and then they can use that as fuel for him hopefully beating Trick next week. I pretty much feel like it's a foregone conclusion, but honestly, bro, I don't treat anything in wrestling like that anymore
I hope
because
that Trick.
NXT,
I
yeah,
honestly hope that Trick does lose to Moose, not because I want Moose to be champion, but just because I want Trick to move on from this TNA angle.
yes, yes. But yeah, I mean, dude, I gotta tell you, I think Trick is really starting with me personally, anyway, to really click in this heel gimmick. And I think he
Yes.
should go to the main roster with it. And
Yep.
I think he should be on the main roster with it for a
Bro,
year.
he
Maybe,
should
yeah.
literally he should just attack the Miz. He should attack the Miz, take his spot. We reunite Trick and Mello as a heel team, which was never really, or I guess early on, it was a thing in NXT, but only briefly. And this is also like a few years later, and they're both more experienced. Like I think that that is absolutely the way to go, especially because like SmackDown has a tag division, Raw doesn't really.
Yes.
So you
Yeah,
can send
yeah.
Trick to SmackDown, reunite his team with Mello, have him be like, you know what, Mello, I couldn't see where you were coming from last time that we talked in NXT, but now I get it, and we're on the same page again.
Yeah. And that pop you did, that would be me internally. Yes.
Nice.
Look, tr- Trick, I think, is starting to see things, not to be too much of a douche, the correct way. And when he abandoned his whole team, I'm like, good for him. Good for Trick. It sucked for it
Wow.
sucked for simmer down. It sucked
I
for
just
Javon.
laughed and said, wow.
Just felt like it was going to become more, so I needed to stop it before it evolved. Um, but no, I look. It's not that I didn't feel for Trick. It's just maybe you should have turned on the team first. I don't know. So he ate the power bomb
Wait, it's
and
not
the
that you
pin.
didn't feel for who?
It's not that I didn't feel for Javon eating the power bomb. It's just I feel like maybe you should just turn on the team first. I'm really repressing every muscle in my body to say skill issue right now to Javon Evans because that'd be disrespectful as hell. And we're not doing that here.
Wow.
We're not doing that here. Okay.
But
I'm just saying
you just said that it's taking every muscle in your body to not do it. So
I'm succeeding because I'm not doing it. So, I'm just saying, Javon may want to reassess some priorities before Heatwave. I'm just saying. So, yeah, that was that was NXT. And again, I really do feel like that was the show of the week. But now let's talk about Evolve. And you know what? I really should get in the habit of doing this before we go live, but I'm gonna type in the date. Because what date would have Evolve been this week? Like August 13th? Or
yes.
my god, I was correct. Jesus.
How do you go from never mind.
What? Say it.
I mean, you're always on here talking about how correct you always are, and then you're like, I say you're correct, and you're like, oh, that was rare. I was like,
No, that's with substantive opinions that emanate from my face. This was pure guesswork that I pulled out of the airbag. Like, what date was it? So I'm just a bit surprised, is all.
your mental math is better than you give it credit for. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? Thank you. Fucking math. All right. We Tate Wilder versus Jensen. You and I skipped this match actually, but Jensen
Fucking
ended up
right, we
winning.
did.
Ooh, I loved how you said that. God, when you're
Brooks, you
authoritative.
said Brooks Jensen won.
Yeah, because you even told me you won with the clothesline from hell. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did, didn't I?
You did. You did. I'm sorry that your brain has to work overtime to protect you from these things. It's tough.
You know, it
But
would be a lot better if these particular things just didn't happen in the first place.
God, I just need to let you know, especially with me like turning up these last few moments, you are so right. And I wish the world did a better job of protecting you and all of us just by not
Yeah.
doing the bad thing.
Uh-huh.
Um On a more serious note, though, let's talk about a match that I thought was surprisingly good. Inoue versus Dante Chen.
Yeah, this was a fun one. I like both of these guys. They're both pretty good.
I'm gonna be truthful with you, man. Just to be a bit contrary on my side, I think I do like both guys now, but there was a time I did not like Dante Chen. I really didn't see
Really?
it. I'm like, I think
Oh,
no, I am being sincere. Like this isn't a scumbag thing. I really I didn't see the appeal of him at
huh.
all. Like I know Foster liked him, and whenever Foster likes somebody, to be fair, like I just automatically assume that I'm wrong because how do you would disagree with all of that? But
I
like I
mean,
just I didn't,
in
you know.
terms of Alex, though, let's also be real. Alex loves to love, and that's a beautiful thing about him. But it also means that he's more likely to like anyone than us.
That is so true. Whereas I mean, Jimmy Uso just proves like I love to hate sometimes, and it's like it's a problem.
We are both ruined by cynicism.
It's so true.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a hard earned cynicism that we've been gathering over the course of decades, but yeah, the cynicism is very real with both of us.
I really appreciate you going out of your way to say that we earned it because you're goddamn right we did.
You're
I'm not gonna have it
goddamn
be
fucking
invalidated.
right we did, yeah.
But yeah, dude, this was a surprisingly good match. Like I was into it. I thought this had great, false finishes, like near false spots. Um, and yet Chen won with the gentle touch, I think he calls it.
Hate that
Um,
finisher.
yeah. And I don't like the finish. I will
No.
say again, just talking about things that I still wish were better about Chen. I really hate the finisher. In fact, if I was to make a list of worst finishers, I'm not saying it would be number one because I mean BFT has got to be somewhere in there. It's definitely up there. I just don't believe it. I don't really. It doesn't look like a match ender to me. But here's the thing: in the psychology of a wrestling match, I guess anything can be a finisher if you commit to it long enough in the booking,
Yeah.
right? You could probably restore the credibility of the fucking sleeper if you really put the time in. So
Gunther.
yeah, Gunther, exactly. And yeah, so look, Super Blue, don't push it right now. This isn't about that right now. But yeah, Dante Chen wins. So now him and Inoue are 1-1. Honestly, just to give Drake a bit of a different challenger after Keanu Carver potentially, I'd like the rubber match to be kind of a number one contendership thing, and maybe Chen wins that, and then you get Chen versus Drake. I think that'd be an interesting matchup. I would not be opposed to that. So just a thought, especially because Evolve doesn't have a mid card title for men yet. So there you go. After that, Zeta Steel loses to Layla Diggs, and this is another finisher I didn't really like because it was like a sit out gourd buster, which I think is called what, the Diggity Splits. Um,
I missed that.
yeah, and I actually wasn't making that up. That is what it's called.
Yeah, it
So
is. It's the diggity splits. Oh no, Layla, honey, you got to come up with something better than that, please.
I know we're about to challenge the magnificence of your face because I'm about to say something awful to it. Are you ready for this?
No. Let me just get one more thing in. Layla Diggs reminds me of like mid to late. Actually, no, fuck that. Layla Diggs reminds me of a woman that would have succeeded in FCW.
Yeah, yeah, I 100% get where you're coming from with that. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, now say what you
Um,
wanted to say.
okay, yes. We have Jamar Hampton interacting with Itzgall. Isn't that great? Yeah, yeah, perfect response. Yeah, was that
I
intentional or
normally try and hide my yawns, but given the context, I just had to emphasize it.
I like when you emphasize things. So Itzgall and Jamar Hampton are going to work out together, and I am just it's really do I want to get political with this? No, I don't think I do this time. No, never mind. But you know what? Fuck you, Itzgall. So I'll leave it at that for right now. Sean Legacy.
I just want
Did,
to say it's Gall, I think, is lame as shit.
yes.
And like for somebody to be lame as shit, they have to like there's got to be something going on there where they're like a really good like backstage personality, or they're good for the locker room, or they've got a lot of upside or whatever. I don't see any of that shit at Skull at all.
I love that I I was ready to just let it go, and you were just like, "No, hold on a minute," and you just were like, "No, no," and
No,
you
no,
just
no.
told the
I
truth
need to
straight up about the thing.
emphasize how shit its gall is. He deserves the burial.
You know what? You're so right, King. Thank God you exist. Um, let's talk about Sean Legacy, or as I like to call him when he talks, Sean Lethargy, because holy shit, does my energy
Sean
dip.
Lethargy.
Yeah, because holy shit, does my energy tank when this dude fucking talks.
I mean, you shouldn't
He is,
have to carry someone else's segment with your own energy. They should give that energy to you. That's the whole point of a fucking promo.
bro, you're right, but let's also just be honest about the fact that it is my fucking face. Do you see how much labor my face does every day to make the world
And
not suck?
my point is, you shouldn't have to.
And I appreciate you so much for that, but it's my cross to bear, unfortunately. But no, here's the thing. I like Sean Legacy, just to make that clear, but he needs to get better as a talker. Like, holy tap dancing Christ, dude. Like,
I mean, they could
learn.
just slap a fucking mask on him like they're doing with Grande Americano.
I mean, he doesn't need to totally veil face, but then again, if he's gonna talk like that, then yeah, totally veil face.
I'm more thinking
Um,
like Ricochet, Prince Puma, like don't have the guy talk and
yes.
just slap a mask on him, kind of thing.
God, Ricochet, you talked shit about that company, and yet you'll never be that over again. Ever.
I'd also
Ever.
just like to say, I don't think that Legacy is like an unattractive dude. He does have a good look, but that hair needs to go.
Again, do you ever get tired of being right all the time? I just,
You
God,
know, I don't really think about being right when I talk. It just kind of happens.
God, that's hot. Anyway, hey, we, we have Sean Legacy, who's apparently going to do something with Ice Williams. And I'll say this: I remember the last time you and I saw Ice Williams specifically on Evolve. We were a bit underwhelmed by him, but they showed that clip of him more on the indies and whatever promotion he was. First of all, get a better mic. Jesus fucking Christ, that audio quality was trash.
Bro, that is literally just every indie wrestling promotion ever.
What is happening to the economy? Don't answer that. I know what's happening, and it's not good. Uh,
Yeah.
it's not good. We're all. It's
Don't
over.
ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Folks, it's never been more Joker than it is right now. Um,
Oh.
and Ice Williams talking, I actually felt like he got a bit better as a talker. I think I like him more as a douchebag. But my criticism on Ice, oh. And so, yeah, Sean Legacy is like, whatever, bruh. You know, we all got to take our own journeys. And I'm like, you know, maybe sell something, you ass. Uh, and so, yeah, seems like Sean Legacy and Ice Williams are going to do stuff. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Then Tyra May Steele faced Carmen, and Carmen won after Tyra dominated most of the match, but it doesn't matter because Tyra's on NXT making those big bucks, baby. So
I
it's all.
really hope that she's just done an Evolve entirely and just gets a legitimate like shot at getting over in NXT because I think that she's definitely good enough, I guess, to be pretty over in NXT.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah. I really have nothing to add to that. And that's Evolve. So, did you watch any AEW this week? Um, I watched MJF attack Hangman Adam Page, and gotta be honest, pop. I think I have something for people ramming face in car hoods multiple times because I found that oddly satisfying, like cutting in the middle of a cake. I was like, this soothes me.
Mm,
So
can't
we know.
relate.
Wait, what was that?
I just said can't relate.
Well, because you're functional, so that doesn't surprise me at all. Um, so yeah, we know that it's going to be MJF versus Hangman Adam Page at Forbidden Door. Kind of surprised they're going this route. I guess they're just abandoning the tradition of a New Japan star challenging for the AW World Title because they're looking at New Japan right now and they're like, oh, oh, oh. And so yeah, I mean, fair call, I guess. So yeah,
Random
that's all
thought.
I. Thank you, thank you. I also saw the Edge and Christian reunion, which cool. You're both
Oh,
really old, as are the Hardys
yeah,
and the Dudleys.
yeah, and they're
Also,
all. Well, I don't think the Dudleys are still wrestling, but those other two teams sure are.
Dude, the Dudleys are going to have a one more time kind of match with the Hardys coming up, though, so they are going to
Oh,
wrestle
for
soon.
fuck's sake.
Did you forget? This is a gerontocracy, bro. The old legends never die. Oh, wow. That was the most pained I've heard you in a while. You going to be okay?
Probably in the long run, but right now, let me just suffer.
Oh, God. I mean, I kind of want to say no, but I get it, so I'm going to leave you to it. And by the way, P.S. Bulbous Ray Dudley, maybe simmer your fucking ass.
Did he say something ignorant on social media or
I
in some
just saw
other?
an LFG clip with him and fucking Mark, emphasis on Mark Calloway, getting into it on
Their names are
LFG.
both Mark. Mark Tremonti, isn't that?
Is that true?
No,
Oh my
never
God.
mind. I know Bubba Ray Dudley's real name is Mark though. Mark Tremonti's the fucking guitarist for Creed and Alter Bridge.
Wait. Well, now I just need. I mean,
Mark
I believe
LaMonaco.
you.
Mark LaMonaco.
Oh my God. The idea that they're both named Mark. Wrestling gods, you do know how to bless me when the time is right because it's so appropriate. It's
Yeah.
so appropriate. Um, yeah, and oh my God, did he actually say that? Oh my God. Oh my
What?
God. But well, according to Alex Foster, Bubba said Cena's retirement should involve Vince McMahon. So,
I swear to God. Their manufacturing consent, John. Vince is going to be back within the next 2 years. Watch.
dude, I'm actually surprised he's not back already with this shithole fucking country with
There are
Giesel and Maxwell on
genuinely
fucking
there are
work release.
people online who think that Vince is shadow booking WWE right now.
My God. Why are we in hell? What did I do to deserve this? Let me talk.
You chose clearly to be born. Congratulations. These are the consequences of that action.
Oh God, antinatalism has never looked more appealing to me than it does right now. Oh
I
my
don't know
God.
what that
Okay.
means. Maybe you could explain.
That is a philosophical school that says it is more ethical to never have been born than having been born, and more pleasurable on the whole. And, there was a time where I was like, wow, that sounds like some edgelord shit. And now I'm just kind of side eyeing the ether, like, hey, baby, you want to get back together?
Oh no.
Oh, God. We're cooked. But anyway, so you yawned to the AEW question. I only watched MDF, so let's open up the
Yeah.
forum for questions. By the way, you have been so terrific. You have popped me multiple times, and I really appreciate you. I just feel like you should know that because I know some parts of wrestling have been really painful for you, and I'm here for you.
I
So,
wouldn't even say painful. Well, that's not true. It's definitely been painful on like a mental, emotional level. Um, it's more just that I always feel betrayed by, especially Western wrestling. It's like you get your hopes up for one thing and they punch you in the dick for the other thing.
dude, that was so aptly described. All right, well, we've opened up the forum for questions. Foster, I would like to apologize to you guys for having faith in New Japan. Do you guys forgive me? Should I bring snacks? Foster, what you need to understand is I was never mad at you because have you seen you? I love that you love and I envy it because I want to imitate that capacity. And I can't be mad at you for being who you are because that's what I love about you precisely. But
Mm-hmm.
still bring snacks, though. I'm never going to turn down food. So, bring snacks. Um,
Hell
so, yes, caster sales. If Sheamus beats Rusev, do you think this will cause Rusev's character to change? No, the only thing that Rusev's going to change is his fucking target, who he's going to redeem next. So no. Super Blue. How do you feel about Hangman goading MJF into using his cash and casino contract for Forbidden Door? I think it's apt for both characters. Hangman has never backed away from a challenge, and I love that he straight up called MJF's whole shtick like incel shit. I thought that genuinely popped me. And MJF is always like an insecure, thin-skinned guy looking to prove himself and then looking to backpedal from wanting to prove himself because he's either constantly at odds with himself or the simpler explanation is he's a fucking douchebag. So, it makes sense for both characters to me. Um,
I honestly hate
yes.
that Forbidden Door has so many AEW exclusive matches. I think that fucking sucks.
For me personally, bro, I don't disagree with you only because I feel like that defeats the concept of the pay-per-view to me.
Yeah, I
So
know. That's
yeah.
pretty much exactly what I'm trying to say. It's like, is it Forbidden Door or is it AEW pay per view with maybe some light sprinkling of New Japan, who are gonna fucking lose anyway? So who cares?
Yeah, you know what? again, I mean, I already asked if you get tired of being right, and then you gave that really hot fucking answer that it just happened. So
Is
no
that
need
this
to make you
weekend?
repeat
No,
yourself.
it's next weekend. It's literally the same weekend as Heatwave. It's actually the same day as Heatwave.
It's a week after Heatwave. Is it the same day?
Heatwave
Or
is
no,
the
I'm thinking, of
24th, right?
no. You know what? I think I'm thinking of it's a week after Clash in Paris. I thought, or a
No, it's
week
a
before.
week before. Yeah, it's the same weekend as it's the same day as NXT Heatwave. They're both happening on Sunday, August 24th.
Damn, that's crazy. All right.
I
Well,
only wanted to bring that up though because it's like I'm looking at the card right now, and there's a lights out steel cage match featuring Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Darby Allin, Hiroshi Tanahashi being the one singular New Japan representative, and then a bunch of other bald ass AEW guys and the Jacksons. The Hurt Syndicate defending the AEW tag titles against an AEW team. It's either going to be FTR or Brodito. That's Brody King and Bandito, by the way.
my God, I thought it was Matt
Okada
Riddle in the business.
Okada is defending an AEW championship because he's an AEW roster member against Swerve. Timeless Tony Storm defending against Athena. Mercedes defending against Alex Windsor. Persephone from CMLL. And a Stardom performer to be determined. We still don't know who the Stardom rep in that match is going to be. Kyle Fletcher is the only person defending a championship against someone from New Japan, and it's Hiromu Takahashi. So naturally, Fletcher's going to retain there. And the only other New Japan representative that I haven't mentioned yet is ZSJ, their fucking world champion, who's going to be defending against Nigel McGuinness.
The match should slap though. To be
Oh,
fair,
no
that
doubt
that
the match
actually
is going to
gets
be
me kind of
great,
hyped.
but like, is anyone thinking, wow, imagine if Nigel actually beats him? No, it's very, very clear that that's a filler retention for ZSJ to just put on the card to say they have a New Japan guy on the card.
Absolutely, you're absolutely
There
correct
are
about that. No
literally
contention there
a
whatsoever.
grand total of 4 New Japan Pro Wrestling performers on the card. Plus, there's literally as much CMLL representation on the card as there is Stardom representation because it's one of each.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Everything else down the fucking line is AEW.
Yeah. Wow.
This
That.
isn't a
Yeah. That.
forbidden door. This is just an AEW pay per view that happens to feature some random other people.
Yeah. It should just be AEW pay-per-view name featuring New Japan stars
Yeah,
intermittently throughout the
yeah.
card.
Featuring international wrestling stars. Because again, it's not just New Japan. There's a fucking CMLL woman on here too.
Yeah. 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 Really. Really not pushing the concept to the limit here like you would hope AEW would do.
Like they have in the past.
Exactly. Yeah.
Although historically, even in the past, they always do this weird shit where they'll have like some random mid-carder challenge for the IWGP title and some random New Japan mid-carder challenge for the AEW title. It's like, and they're not even giving New Japan that fucking dignity this year. We're not getting Hangman Adam Page defending against fucking David Finlay or whatever the fuck they would have done, which would have been just as lame. They're just doing AEW shit in their own world title scene.
Yes. Exactly. Oh boy.
I
Um.
swear.
Javaris is watching Triple Mania right now. Angel actually messaged me while we've been live, and he's like, he was surprised you and I were watching it. I don't think Angel understands that we just cannot stand Triple A. Like, it's just, yeah, we've
Yeah,
never,
Triple H
never.
insufferable.
And apparently, Vikingo's getting booed over Del Bitch Cakes. And to that, I would just say, Javaris, again, going back to Ashton and I's hard fought cynicism, which I know you share in, this country just got done electing, provided that it was even above board, a child rapist for president. So nothing really surprises me anymore. I feel like I'm just kind of broken in that way. If you tell me, like, oh, yeah, this guy that did all this stuff on him, he came back to a standing ovation. Yeah, I believe it. I mean, Brock Lesnar came back to pretty big pops from that SummerSlam crowd. So yeah, I mean, nothing again really surprises me anymore. So Caster Sales, do you think Roman and Bronson Reed will wrestle at Clash in Paris? I'm gonna say no. I don't think they will, but I can see why you'd ask that question.
I
Um,
honestly, it feels to me like Clash in Paris is really rearing up to just be a filler to the Max pay per view. Like it is very like they're doing John Cena and Logan Paul shit, and I think that might even end up being a tag match.
that seemed like it was gonna be a straight up singles match to me, brother. I
Well,
didn't get
I'm
the impression.
okay, that's fair, but even still, it's John Cena wasting one of his last matches ever on Logan Paul.
Dude, I know. I know. I'm Don't even get me started on the Cena thing because I don't think I'll ever forgive WWE for how like all this shit just got fucking wasted. Fucking finally give us a heel turn and then suddenly I'm babyface again, which I love babyface Cena now. I vibe with it, but fucking earn it for Christ's
It
sake.
feels like WWE Unreal's sole purpose was to allow John Cena to turn face with the justification of we wanted to make some really compelling TV, and we did, but I'm over it.
Wow. You know what? I still say that my Snicker promo idea would have been a better route to take, but
It
that's
would have
just
been,
me.
dude, that would have been so peak. They're even
Yeah.
sponsored by Snickers too, so it's amazing.
Yes. See, this
It
is
could have
why
been both compelling, entertaining, and shilling at the same time.
well, this is why I say though the WWE just needs to listen to my face more. It statistically would guarantee a 5,000% increase in watchability of the product. Now
God,
those
I wish
numbers
I
may
could push back against that 5,000 number, but I can't. It's true.
yes, yes. The responsible one conceded. Now you all have to do the same. I don't make the rules. All right.
You did just kind of make that one up, to be
You know what? That's true, but we don't talk about that.
fair.
Let's see what question are we on. Fo- Foster said, "How would you guys feel if Rusev and Sheamus began teaming after their feud similar to the Bar?" I would hate it.
No.
I would hate. I want Sheamus to go after the fucking IC title, damn it, and finally win the goddamn thing.
I am
Uh,
so fucking sick of big guys, one of whom is usually Sheamus, feud, learn to respect each other, and team. Fuck.
you really beat the shit out of me, guy. Hey, you really beat the shit out of me, buddy. You want to team up? What are we doing?
You want to stop beating the shit out of each other and use these powers on other people?
Maybe.
I also hate to say it, but Rusev is dead in the fucking water right now. Nobody gives a fuck about Rusev in any WWE crowds at all.
And that is such a shame, bro, because I will say, like, he still has an amazing physique, and I enjoy him in the ring still. Like, it's a shame that nobody's really responding to
He's
him.
good at his job. If your job was just to look good and be a good wrestler, but that's like fucking what are you, Dean Malenko? No.
So I felt like his promos really weren't that bad though either. It's just not connecting with people, I guess. I don't know.
Sean O'Hare ass.
Dang. Hell, you woke up and chose violence today. I'm into it though.
I
But
like
damn.
Rusev. I'm honestly just taking out my frustration over the situation out on him, and it's unhealthy. But like, God, it's so irritating that he's being. I can't even say buried. He's not being buried. He's being used. In general, he's being used, and it's not like he's losing every match or anything. It just feels like he came back with no spot left on the card for him to fill.
Yeah. Bro,
Also,
honestly,
I feel
yeah.
like in WWE, he's never been more over than he was as a babyface with Rusev Day.
I don't even know if this would have helped him, but I almost wonder if they would have waited to like re-debut him with the company and just have him go after Seth and his guys, Braun and Bronson, and be a redeemer in a babyface way and be like, I don't like your vision because, and you called this from a mile away. The group is called The Vision. I don't like your vision for this company. I'm going to redeem everything you've done to this company, this and that. And you do like a mini program out the gate because I mean, look at him. He's a very believable contender out of the gate. And you kind of re-ingratiate him to people as a babyface
Have
because
him feud with
yeah,
Bronson.
yeah, I think that would get him over for sure, especially if he came at it again from a babyface angle. So yeah, yeah, I just feel bad for Rusev, man, because I do think he's talented and he can do more than this. But the crowd just, you can't really do anything about that if the crowd's not embracing you.
I mean, to be
Um,
fair, he is a heel. I just feel like the crowd is like not invested in him as a heel. I think maybe that is part of the reason why they're not cheering or making noise for him is because they want to cheer him, but he's a heel, so they're not like getting reason to cheer him. It's like he exists and the crowds want to pop for him and root for him, but he's a heel, he's a bad guy, so like it's like crowds almost don't want to boo him either.
I yeah. Next question, Super Blue. Okay, that doesn't even seem like a real question. I'm not answering that.
Super
Um,
Blue, what are we doing here, bud?
I will answer this question, Super Blue. This feels like more of a real question. How do you feel about the idea of using WWE using TNA to attack Dynamite on Wednesday? I mean, that sounds like
I love it,
typical
honestly.
petty WWE shit.
I'm a
Yeah,
fan of the decision if it happens. If they do that, if they put TNA on one of their networks, I'm a fan because it means that my mom and I are going to start watching TNA. But if they happen to do it at the expense of AEW, maybe, just maybe, it'll force Tony Khan to start booking in a way that appeals to more than just the sickos. Wouldn't that be nice?
And the benefit would be that Tom Hannafin could be heard by more people because I still think he's one of the best play-by-play guys working today. I fucking
You're
love Tom
right,
Hannafin.
but whatever the opposite of a silver lining is of that is that people would also have to listen to Matthew Raywalt every week.
That's true. He doesn't really get on my nerves that bad, but I wish Hannafin had a better like support in color.
I miss when it was Hannafin and D'Lo Brown. Those were the best commentary days of TNA since like fucking
Yes, yes.
Don West.
All right.
Was it
So
Don
yeah,
West?
yeah. I
Okay, yeah.
believe so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was Don West.
Fucking loved
Um,
that guy.
yeah. R.I.P. Don West, because man, he always brought such enthusiasm to the fucking role.
Yeah.
Um,
It's depressing that he's gone.
yeah, absolutely. Foster, if Dark State win the tag titles, do you guys think they'll have their own New Day rule? Um,
No.
wow, that was quick. Okay, you know what? Honestly, I was
Why are
about to
we
have it
calling it a New Day rule, please?
because he said fuck Michael Hayes, so he's not calling it the Freebird rule, which honestly fair.
Oh, I kind of like that now that we contextualized it. Okay.
Your face doesn't need to be contextualized. It's already
I was
pretty
very
perfect.
confused because I've always known it as the Freebird rule, but yeah, fuck Michael Hayes. He's awful.
I'm disappointed that he's still alive, honestly. Uh,
Holy shit! No punch has been pulled.
dude, honestly, if I could just really be real with everybody and drop my walls for a second, I've reached my limit with all types of bigots, and I'm like, you've had so much time to learn, and like, if you're not gonna learn, get these fucking hands.
They're more comfortable not learning though, and they want to be comfortable, John. Isn't that something that we need to learn about? How white comfort is the most important thing? What was that movie? The Magic Society of whatever the fuck?
I know the movie you're talking about, and yes,
With
yes.
Justice Smith? White comfort, man.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck white comfort because I'm also, as you know, I've been slowly reading, Dubois' Reconstruction and learning about how white comfort has been a thing for fucking ever. And
Yeah.
it is really like I know I have a tendency to hyperbolize sometimes, and I will own that about myself. I am not hyperbolizing about this, and I will die on this fucking hill because I've been doing the reading and the research. White comfort is one of the biggest detriments to us progressing and flourishing as a society, period. Like, if we could just fucking get over it and just dismantle white supremacy, the historical progress we would make, even overnight, would just be insane because when you read about how it just held people back and like wow it stopped universal education and universal property, like everybody having property to themselves and like probably housing, it's just wow, just wow. I really can't think about it too much because then I break, and if I break I can't fucking function. So let me go back to suppressing because that's clearly healthy. So Javarist asked the question, honestly, is it just easier to blame the absence of Dwayne, the Dwayne Dwayneson? I'll never not pop when you say that, Javaris, on how shit Cena's heel run went. Javaris, I'm gonna say you're probably right. Like, I don't want to completely
I'm
invalidate where
not
you're
willing
coming.
to take it that far. No, I think that this whole report of like, oh well, there were plans with The Rock, but The Rock decided not to show up. That's a load of fucking dirt shit dirt. You know what? I like that dirt shit garbage to me. I wanted to say dirt sheet bullshit, but dirt shit actually fits.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Fucking
know.
hate wrestling reporting. It's not even real.
You could have almost got. If it wasn't for Joshi, you honestly could have cut it off of I hate wrestling. I would have cut in with mood, but no, the journalism definitely. We need real fucking journalism, and Triple H knows it too because that's why he stopped press conferences after the whole Brock Lesnar thing. Because God forbid a real journalist would be like, "So about that litigation."
Mm-hmm.
I hate everything. Not your face though. That's
Mm-hmm.
your face is perfect. So yeah, okay. You know what, Super Blue? Fine. Fucking fine. I'll indulge you. You said the CM Punk question's a real question. Fine. Fucking fine. Where the fuck was it? Why did CM Punk get everyone jumped by Seth and the Brony Butcher? Because he's 47 fucking years old. As Braun Breaker said, what is he going to do? Advertise arthritis medication? No, he's going to get the fucking curb stomp while he's like, I'll get my hands on you. I'll get my revenge. Shut your bitch mouth.
My
You're
mind
not
is
going to
blown
do
right now.
anything.
my mind is blown right now that Super Blue doubled down on a question that isn't a question by trying to say that it was a real question. That's a load of shit right there, Super Blue.
I just want you to know because I know I have crisp on that popped me so hard. Uh, but no, Onk, he fucking CM stunk. Okay, yeah, was that a childish insult? Yes, but you know what? It's my fucking face. I'll do what I want with it, and I stand by it. He ain't gonna do shit. And honestly, fuck LA Knight. And I'm still cool with Jey Uso, but like, why are you in the title picture again? Everything is wrong. Everything and Sami Zayn's on SmackDown. What the fuck? Anyway. There's the answer to your question.
That's not a real question. You
Well,
can't just
he
be
said
like,
it-
hey, guys, why did this specific booking decision happen? Why don't you go ask the fucking booker? Why are you asking us?
you know what? We should be making Booker money though, for real. I fuck.
Hey guys, why did the Miz and Mello beat Fraxium this week? Do you really want us to try and answer a question that can literally just be answered by a booker? Don't ask them. Of course, they're inaccessible. Ask us, who didn't make the decision in the first place.
asking irrelevant or answering irrelevant questions is your hell. Just the way you talk about it. I'm just imagining you having to do it for an eternity. That'd be a great horror short story. Holy shit. Oh man. Oh god.
Someone comes up to me, hey Ashton, why was Darth Vader Luke's father? How the fuck am I supposed to know?
More exasperated, and then the end of the story is me coming up and you're like, oh my god, finally a reprieve, and then I'm a part of it. And then you just let out a guttural scream, and that's how the story ends.
You wouldn't do that to me.
I wouldn't do that to you, but the hell version of me would. And that would just be the story. Oh god. Anyway. Okay. So okay, first of all, Foster agreed that we should have Babyface Miro versus Seth's group. Appreciate you, Foster. You're fucking beautiful. Then Super Blue's next question. Why is Drake? You didn't put enough emphasis on that, Super Blue. You know, it's okay. Just get better. Getting on Donovan's case. Does he want to lose the Evolve title? That's really cute, Super Blue, for a variety of reasons. One, because he's not losing the fucking title. Two, because they're going to work things out, and that's what I'm telling myself, and it's going to happen. And three, look, Donovan understood. He tried to help the group, but, Zeta lost another match, which, to be fair, you can't even put that on Donovan because low-key, that's what she's been doing since Evolve started. I mean, I love Zeta, but it's the truth, right? It's just a painful truth. Nobody likes it, but it is what it is. So they're going to be fine, and he's not losing the title. How dare you?
No, but this is another fucking Booker question. Why is Jackson Drake getting written to get on Bryce Donovan's case? We don't make that decision. We don't know why they're choosing to have him do that. That's not an us question.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. What other questions?
He did it again. He did it again. Super Blue. Anytime that you want to ask us a question that is about a decision that was made by someone other than us, just don't ask that question. Because then he said, given how Adam felt about MFTs being on Raw, are we getting SmackDown versus Raw for Survivor Series? How the fuck are we supposed to know?
Yeah, we really don't know that. So you know what? I'm gonna be the responsible barkeep, and I'm gonna say we're cutting you off. So no more drinks for you, unless you can come up with genuine questions. Then we'll allow it. But we're gonna have to really vet these questions. And of course, Javars, it's been the official name for Dwayne for a while now. It's just I think we'll be explicit about it. And so yeah, any other questions, people?
Real questions for us, not for whoever books shit.
Yes, yes. Please, for the love of this man's sanity, some real questions. Going once, going twice, going three times. All right, we're closing up shop, everybody. There we go. I don't know if I gave it enough time, but honestly, it's almost 12:30, and I'd like to get out of here. All right, high spots and low shots. My low shot. Let me really think about this. You know what? My low shot, Solo Sikoa. He cost Sami Zayn a match on Monday, which is a low shot for him because he ended up making a bigger problem. Sammy probably wasn't even thinking about Solo. Solo was thinking about Sammy more than Sammy was thinking about Solo. And now, because of that, Sammy is on SmackDown and he's gunning for Solo, and he pinned him in a tag match, showing that he's a very credible threat. So, yeah, Solo's my low shot this week.
You're beautiful, just so you know.
Beautiful. Fuck. Who's your low shot?
My low shot is Fraxium because I'm still reveling in their fucking loss.
Then I want you to know that, like, I'm always proud of you for how emotionally healthier you are relative to my own face. But when you indulge in Schadenfreude, I'm into it, like, a lot.
I'm aware.
And so, nice. Very, very nice. High spot for me. I don't want to do an honorary high spot for one of these people because I never want to, like, unwittingly take a pick you might be thinking about. So I'm just going to choose between one of the two that I am thinking
I don't
about.
have anyone in mind right now. This is all on the fly for me.
You know what, though, dude? I want to give you as many options as possible, so I don't want to be greedy and just take everything good. So I'm going to say, honestly, I'm going to give my high spot to a weird one just from a very personal perspective. I'm going to give my high spot to Bailey. I thought she had a very compelling promo this week, and it's something that I'm still thinking about. And when you can have me thinking about what you did on a product long after it ended, I think that's a testament to your work. And so Bailey is going in a very interesting direction. She had a very vulnerable promo this week, and it's a weird reason to give a high spot because normally we do like kayfabe accomplishments and stuff. But no, I'm coming from a place of just sheer enjoyment and bias. I enjoyed her work a lot this week, and I'm excited to see what's next for her.
Dark State.
Excellent. Excellent. Since you gave that answer, I will say retroactively, my honor high spot will be Sami Zayn because I was torn between Sami and Bailey, and I didn't know if you wanted to take Sami, given that he pinned the U.S. champion this week. But yeah, I'll say Sami had a great week. I mean, it was a no contest on Raw. Technically, he should have won that match because he was attacked first before Rusev was, and then he pinned Solo on Friday. And then, yeah, like I said, actual high spots. Bailey, your high spot's Dark State. Makes sense to me. They won the biggest match of their fucking career so far. Huge 8-man tag. And yeah, that's that. So with that said, guys, that was this week in the world of wrestling. This has been TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary action. Guys, be sure to leave a like as you file out. Subscribe to the bell icon for notifications so you miss any of that. Oh goodness, check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Blue Sky and Twitch because we are the best wrestling podcast in all the AWC. And we will see you guys again. I believe Wednesday at 6 is what we agreed on, right, partner? For was it Stardom or Money Gold?
Well, we agreed on Wednesday at 6 for Stardom, but we don't. I don't know if we're going to be doing Money Gold this week or not. I assume we will, but I don't know what.
Let's just take it one day at a time. You guys will see us Wednesday at 6 for Stardom as we continue our catch-up of the 5-Star Grand Prix, which has been a lot of fun because we picked good matches and we really knew how to sort them out this year, and I'm very proud of our faces. So if you're a fan of Joshi, if you're thinking, I'm kind of tentative with Stardom, but I still want to keep up with the tournament, get your best English coverage here.
I'm guessing,
and so that is Wednesday at 6.
Guessing Tuesday at 5 for Money Gold.
Thinking Tuesday at 5 for Money Gold. Okay, I'm going to have to remember that because Tuesday comes before Wednesday. So I'm going to do this again then, and I'm going to say you'll see us again Tuesday at 5 for Money Gold, and then Wednesday at 6 for Stardom, and Thursday at 7 is usually our Stardom base. I know I'll be doing Stardom again there too. So back to back with that Joshi goodness. Be sure to join us then, guys. Until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be good to yourselves and each other. More than ever, please. Tune in.